Hi, comic book fans. It's a Monday night. It's the price variance. Alan and I are here, and we are looking at the hottest. Well, I say hottest. We're looking at the top sales of comics at Heritage for Silver Age Comics last week. You need to head over to Alan's channel, where Alan had 5 Marvel comics, which we looked at, and the last 2 were pretty stunning. So you need to
Very stunning.
uh, on my channel. I believe we're looking at the top DC sales for last week, and let's kick off. So let's share my screen. Go here and here. So first one, a nice one. This is a Braven the Bold. So obviously I have this in my collection. It's a really, yeah, it's Teen Titans. Now, Alan, you sometimes claim this is the first Teen Titans.
I always make I don't mean it's the first Teen Titans. It's the first titled book, Teen Titans.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's okay. And it's also the first appearance of Wonder Girl.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So
yeah. Fairly key comic, and I mean, massively undervalued over the years. Back in the day, you'd have been able to pick this up for $10-20 back in 1980. This was never.
But there's been a lot of shows with the Teen Titans, that really kind of made this a popular book.
Yeah, yeah. So this is an 8.0, which is a nice grade.
Yeah, really nice book. And it's actually a hard one to get in high grade because of the black.
Yeah, no, it looks really nice. $500, $516. That sounds cheap. Now I know
that sounds really cheap to me. I think I paid almost the same for my copy.
We have been looking at Marvel comics, and they're always more expensive than DC. So let's have a look. Okay, so it's sort of flattish. Hasn't done anything for years.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up, isn't it? Yeah, it did have a bump, but not really. Not really. It's like a messed up bump. So it was up to 900 at the peak.
That was in January this year, so that wasn't COVID peak. The COVID peak was here.
So yeah. So actually, it's one of these books that just doesn't have a proper trend line.
No, it's not. It's undervalued in my view. It's underappreciated. It's just never really kicked off, and the DC books, when there's TV series, they've never really had it. The TV series have never really had that effect on the books. The Teen Titans hasn't really affected this. Doom Patrol didn't affect the value of Doom Patrol books.
I was surprised how little it impacted it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the shows aren't that bad. I actually like DC TV.
Yeah, I love both the some of the Titan shows and the Doom Patrol. Thought they were great.
Yeah, I thought so too. I don't know why they have such a bad why DC doesn't get the love that Marvel does.
And let's have a look at the numbers. I bet this is a lot lower than 543 in terms of rarity. Wow.
I mean, it's just like 1/10 of what we were seeing in the Marvel books. You know what I mean? It's just like 1/10, and then it's going for about maybe 1/5 of the price. You know what I mean? For the grade.
Yeah, and I don't think this is this isn't people say, oh, well, there's not a lot on the census because people haven't got them slabbed. I don't think that's the case with something like this.
No, I think if you have it, you would get it slabbed.
Yeah, so I think this is genuinely a lot scarcer than something like Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man 1. Just to name.
Yeah. I mean, it seems really odd how underappreciated Marvel are, DC are compared to Marvel. I don't know. It just seems so crazy to me that it's so cheap. In a way, I remember back in the 90s, people would say, there were a lot of people, the older collectors were always DC fans.
Yeah.
They would always say, someday DC will get love. That someday has still not happened, and it's been like 30 years.
Maybe with the exception of Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman always was loved, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the next one.
It's
Hopefully
never
it's
really
better.
this has never really broken above $1,000.
It's yeah, it's a hard one to say. Like, is this a bad sale? I don't know because it doesn't really have a trend. It's like
Right, let's have a look at another one. Oh, this is a nice one, Alan. I think you've got this, haven't you?
yeah, I do. I have a higher grade copy
This is
of
nice.
this.
I'd like to have this. This is the first Supergirl, isn't it?
Yeah.
First appearance of Supergirl. Very nice.
Hmm.
Now this should start going up. I mean, we've Supergirl's going to be appearing in James Gunn's DC verse at some stage.
She's already appeared
Is she?
in the recent what's it called? Flash movie.
Oh, did she? Okay, haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah, so she was in that. And she was good. Like actually I thought the movie was good. I think people panned it for the wrong reasons, but I actually enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so 2.5 for 1,000. Let's have a look.
Yeah, so
Again, gone nowhere.
what a crazy trend line.
It looks like a
Like,
heartbeat, doesn't it?
yeah,
It's the same as the last one. It's sort of around $1,000 for 10 years.
yeah. No real like I mean I see these like occasional spikes, but it's not like oh it's COVID spike. No,
It's
because
just
that
standard deviation. It's just
yeah, it looks like there was a spike. When did that most recent spike happen?
well, that was a sale in September, so that was probably your Flash movie.
Yeah, well, no, it was before that. It was after that. That's after the Flash movie. Flash movie came out at the beginning of the year.
Okay, well, beginning of the year it
So
was.
my point is, it's like one where people either pay a lot or pay a little. Like they either find the deal or not. It could be the thing that these DC books, like look at the census on this one.
Oh, this
I
will.
bet it's again. I bet again it's like probably around like yeah 1,000. Okay, so
Yeah.
the point is, you with Marvel, you get better trend lines because there's more of the books
Yeah.
appearing, on a regular basis. So people have a sense, okay, this book should be around this price. But when you see this book, it might not have like the consistent sales that, a Marvel book might have. So
Yeah.
you might not be able to guess, so some people might overpay, some people might underpay, it could be all over the place.
Yeah.
At least that's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like there's any trend.
No. No. Okay. That's sort of too flattish. Never done anything comics. Right. Number three.
Which is strange. Like, I mean, such a major book. Okay.
And there's another major book. First appearance.
Green Lantern 1.
Number one. Great cover. I love this cover. It's always like this.
And this is also like not only is it Green Lantern number 1, which is the first Silver Age titled Green Lantern,
Yeah.
but it's also the first appearance of the League, the Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, Guardians of the Universe. Yeah, so that's where you sort of have Green Lantern becomes this more cosmic character, whereas in the Golden Age he was much more earthly. So yeah, so very I don't know. I always thought this was kind of a weird cover, but but I kind of like it in a way. So yeah.
There's something quite right about the proportion of Green Lantern's body. Is that he's not quite right, is it?
No, it's not bad. I don't think he's bad. He's just like his back is bent, right? So he looks a little like condensed at the top, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at this one. 7.5 for 3,360. I have no idea whether that's good or bad. Oh, it's another one that's just done nothing for 8 years.
Wow, what a crazy! Like this is maybe this is the trend of the DC books. DC keys are like weird. So 1,200 on the census.
There are 1,200 universals. I mean, look, it's just nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it did have that one little spike when? Like when was that?
earlier this year, so it's not a COVID spike.
Yeah, it's just some random spike. I mean, there is a Green Lantern show coming. There should be hype potentially around this book, but I wouldn't say it's like if you took like I don't know like some kind of weird trend line in that, I wouldn't say this book is up or down. I would just say it's sideways. It's like
It is, yeah, it's sideways. It's been going sideways
yeah,
for 7 years.
yeah, which in a way kind of means maybe DC is not a great thing to speculate on. Marvel might be crazy on occasion, but you can
Yeah, I
have
think
those
mate,
big wins.
you're going to have a more exciting life with your Marvel comics. Uh,
Hmm.
if you bought your Amazing Fantasy 15 for 66,000 and somebody just bought one for five, that's an exciting. You're not going to do that with a DC. There aren't any DCs that are worth 66,000. Well, maybe some early Batmans.
Hmm.
Right, here we go. Okay, so another one, three in a row that are sort of flattish. Okay.
Yeah,
At least we haven't lost the house on our DC comics yet, Alan.
yeah, yeah. You don't have to worry about the big losses.
Right.
Now, this I thought was a good one, interesting one.
Yeah, this is
This is
interesting. Showcase number 6, starring Challengers of the Unknown. Is this the first
yeah.
appearance of the Challengers of the Unknown?
Yep, it is. The great thing about Showcase was it really did showcase new characters.
Yeah.
You got the first Green Lantern, you have the first Flash, you have the first like whole bunch of characters.
And this is Jack Kirby pre-Marvel, isn't it?
So it's the first appearance and origin of the Challengers of the Unknown.
Now you can argue that these guys are this is the first superhero team, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it that? Well, certainly in this sort of Silver Age period.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think didn't the Challengers of the Unknown influence Fantastic Four like
Yes,
that
I think they did. Yeah, I mean it's Kirby.
yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, so I mean, this is kind of a major key in my opinion. Like I own this book, so I think it's great.
I'm jealous. I would like to own this.
I try to pick up all the showcase keys, so that was a thing I did.
Yeah, I mean the best I can do is Angel and the Ape. Right. Okay.
That's another first appearance in showcase.
Um, right. Well, it's a super comic. Really jealous of you if you've got this one.
Yeah, mine's a pretty beater copy though. It's a really low grade.
So
Two.
3360 for the first ever appearance of the Challenges of the Unknown by Jack Kirby.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully we'll have an up.
4 years.
Let's get an up.
4 years before the Fantastic Four. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is it another flatty? No, it's a record.
No, it's up. So again, we're seeing this with DC where there's just not that many sales, so it's hard to say that there's a real trend here.
Well, there's only
we'll
227 of these, Alan, worldwide.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like a hard one to say.
This is its first sale for 10 years.
And so yeah, so 10 years ago, it was cheaper.
10 years ago, it was $2,000. It's now 3360. So there we go. We've got a record, Alan.
We got a record. So woohoo, we got one record so far on the whole entire list. That's pretty sad, but oh well.
There you go. I'll make up
but yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man loss. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not quite.
But I mean, this book actually seems kind of cheap to me, considering it is like
that's cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you compare that to like a Fantastic Four in the same grade, it just wouldn't be close.
No, it's a team of 4 superheroes fighting some more form of monster by Jack Kirby. Right, here we go. Last one. There we go. This is
another big team.
Big team
right?
book. Yeah. This is
Braven the Bulls 28.
28.
First appearance of the Justice League and first appearance of Starro and first cover appearance of Aquaman and Martian Manhunter.
I mean, what more do you want? That's about 6 reasons this is a key.
Yeah. a big book. I mean, this is a big book, and then you look at the price, and it doesn't reflect it
And this predates Fantastic Four 1 by a year.
by a year. Yeah.
And what do we have? We have a team of superheroes fighting a giant monster.
And actually, I like this cover. Even though it's a weird monster to be fighting, I just like the fact that you have all your heroes and they're all like in a team kind of working to fight this one monster. I love that.
Yeah, Wonder Woman
And
looks great on here, doesn't she? She's
yeah, and she's got a little of the bondage thing going on.
yeah.
It's, tentacle stuff going on for all the Japanese fans out there. Um, so yeah, just I don't know. I think it's a great one. I always love this book personally.
Yeah, yeah. So 5-5 for 4-3. What do I think?
I'm gonna guess down, but what's your guess?
I'm guessing down flattish.
Okay,
Okay.
you're
Well, it's flat. The previous one sold for 4-3 and this sold for 4-3-3. So it's flattish.
it's yeah. So it's pretty flat. And again, it's these weird DC trend lines. So I mean, it looks like probably how it had that sort of. It looks like the trend was sort of up
here. It had a rise here between 2012
and
and
all the way up to there.
24.
Where that was when the
And it sort of held at that level since 2014.
and I think that was during like when Justice League movies were coming out, right?
Yeah.
Where there was like so much hype around that. But then it didn't go anywhere.
Mm.
Like those movies didn't really perform that well.
So, let me ask you a question, Alan. If you got
And wait, just before you ask, what's the census count on this?
1-5,
Okay, sure. So again, really low census
yeah.
compared. Okay, so sorry, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, so let's say you'd got $10,000. I said to go, you can either buy some Marvel keys or some DC keys. But you can either only buy either DC or Marvel. At this stage in the market, what would you be buying?
In this stage, see, that's a very loaded
So now
question.
you have to go and spend the money this afternoon.
Yeah, so and I'm doing it as an investment. I would buy some Marvel keys, Marvel Silver Age. I would buy that. I'd buy that Amazing Fantasy for 15 or 5,000. That's insane. And I would, I'd buy those Marvel keys because they're going to go back up eventually. Even just to hit the floor again would be, to go to the floor would actually be up. When you're below the floor, that's like when you like. I mean, if they go any lower, Marvel ones right now, they're basically saying, okay, we'll give you money and the book. It's almost like that level. Yeah, right now
I am with you. I would be looking at those that have fallen through the floor, pre-COVID floor, so they've gone down below the value the comic was at before COVID peak, and we've seen a few. We've seen a few now.
And also like if they're down even below like any spec related, let's say there was some spec before the COVID thing as well that kind of helped put them up a little bit falsely high. If they're below even that, it's sort of like a good example of that is Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk is lower than the announcement value of the book. It's actually below what it was selling for consistently before any talk of the show was around.
Yeah.
So those kind of books I think are good ones to pick up.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's our final Silver Age review of the year. We will be having a couple more shows for the end of the year, which we're going to pre-record because Alan and I are both busy over the next few weeks. We will be putting out shows. We're going to be doing a show about our review of the 2023 movies and TV shows this year, comic related ones. And then we'll have a show looking at the movies and TV shows that are coming up in 2024. So anyway, that's it for now. That is your lot.
Bye.
Hey.